Help me to reach 2,000 subscribers. The message appeared on my phone at 9:42 p.m. A single glowing notification from my husband's smartwatch, which was synced to our shared account. Can't wait to feel you again. Same time tomorrow. My stomach dropped. For a second, my brain refused to process it. I blinked hard, staring at the screen, waiting for the letters to rearrange into something harmless. But they didn't. The words just sat there, intimate, raw, unmistakably personal. And they weren't meant for me. The house was quiet except for the hum of the refrigerator and the faint ticking of the clock above the sink. I could hear Daniel upstairs in the shower. The sound of water hitting tile echoed down the hallway. And with each drop, the reality of what I just read sank deeper into my chest. I wanted to throw the phone across the room, but instead, I stood frozen. My throat burned. My mind was a storm of denial and rationalization. Maybe it was a joke. Maybe it was spam. Maybe God, please, maybe it wasn't what it looked like. But deep down I already knew. The water stopped. Panic kicked in. I locked the phone and placed it face down on the counter like it might accuse me if I looked again. When Daniel came downstairs, hair damp, towel around his neck, he smiled like nothing was wrong. "Hey, you're still up," he said, kissing the top of my head. His lips brushed my hair lightly like a routine gesture, not love. "Yeah," I said softly. "Just couldn't sleep." He poured himself a glass of water, standing only a few feet away, and for the first time in 7 years, I looked at him like a stranger. His face, the one I'd memorized, the one I thought I knew, suddenly felt foreign. "Everything okay?" he asked, noticing my silence. I nodded quickly. "Just tired." But my hands were trembling beneath the table. The next morning I woke before dawn. He was still asleep beside me, his smartwatch resting on the nightstand. My chest ached as I stared at it. I reached for it slowly, half afraid it would burn me. The screen lit up as I tapped it. No password. He'd never needed one. I used to think that was trust. Now it felt like a trap. Messages. Dozens of them. Her name was S. Just an initial. Short, careful, deliberate. Their chat went back weeks. Flirtations, confessions, plans. Each message made my heart splinter a little more. "You make me feel alive again. Wish I could wake up next to you. She doesn't understand me like you do." She. That was me. My breath came in short, sharp bursts. My vision blurred with tears. Every word I read stripped away another piece of my marriage, my memories, my sanity. I had loved this man. I had defended him, built a life with him, trusted him completely. And he'd been sharing his soul with someone else. The sound of him stirring made me drop the watch onto the bed. He yawned and stretched, unaware that I had just witnessed the slow-motion collapse of our world. "Morning," he murmured. "Morning," I said, my voice barely holding steady. I couldn't confront him yet. I needed time to think, to breathe, to stop shaking long enough to figure out what to do. Over the next few days, I became an actress in my own life. Smiling when he looked, quiet when he didn't. Watching him lie with the ease of habit. Every text he sent, every call he took outside, every late night at the office became proof I couldn't unsee. One evening I followed him. He said he was meeting a client for drinks. I parked across the street from the bar, heart pounding in my throat. Through the window I saw him sitting at the corner booth. A woman joined him, slim, brunette, early 30s maybe. She laughed softly, touching his hand. It was her. I didn't know her name, but I knew her smile. I'd seen it reflected in his messages. For 20 minutes I watched them. He leaned closer, his expression soft, tender, the way he used to look at me. Then he reached across the table and tucked a strand of her hair behind her ear. She smiled and placed her hand on his cheek. Something inside me broke quietly. Not in an explosion, but in a deep, hollow collapse. I left before he saw me. That night, I sat at the kitchen table long after he came home. He smelled faintly of perfume, not mine. He smiled, kissed my forehead, said he was tired. I said nothing. I waited until he fell asleep, then opened his watch again. "You looked beautiful tonight. I wish I could have stayed longer. She doesn't suspect a thing." My hand shook as I typed a reply from his watch. "She knows." I pressed send. Seconds later, the message read, "Delivered." My chest heaved. I watched the screen, waiting. Then a response. "Daniel? What do you mean?" He stirred beside me, half asleep. "Everything okay?" I turned to him, my face calm but my voice hollow. You should check your messages. He frowned groggy. What? Your smartwatch, I said. It sent me something it shouldn't have. He blinked confused, then reached for it. As he scrolled, color drained from his face. Maya, I can explain. Don't, I said sharply. Just don't. Silence filled the room. The air felt heavy, almost unbreathable. How long? I asked. He looked away. A few months. Why? He swallowed hard. I don't know. I didn't plan it. It just happened. The cruelty of those words hit me harder than the affair itself. Just happened. As if love and loyalty were accidents. You said she doesn't understand you, I whispered. What did you mean by that? He sighed, rubbing his temples. We've been distant. You've been so busy. I felt alone and she listened. The room tilted. My pulse thundered in my ears. So you punished me by destroying us? I didn't mean to hurt you, he said. But you did, I whispered. Every time you looked me in the eye and lied, you did. Tears stung my eyes, but I refused to let them fall. He reached for my hand, but I pulled back. Don't touch me, I said. My voice trembled, but there was steel underneath. I loved you so completely, Daniel. I built my life around you. And you threw it away for someone who made you feel alive. He looked broken, but I couldn't tell if it was guilt or fear. I stood, walked to the doorway, and turned back. Your smartwatch betrayed you, but really you betrayed yourself. He didn't follow me. 2 weeks later, the house was half empty. Boxes lined the hallway. Divorce papers sat on the table and signed. Sometimes I caught myself staring at his old watch, still lying there where he left it. One night it buzzed again. A new message. Daniel, I'm pregnant. We need to talk. My breath hitched. The screen glowed in the dark, lighting the edge of the divorce papers. I reached out slowly and turned the watch face down. Some truths didn't need to be read twice.